Tonight, Mr. DJ outsourcing Billboard's Hot 100 of May the 4th, 1968. Let me give you some of the big hits before I get into the Lost 45 off this Hot 100. Of course, there's loads of Lost 45s, a mother load of Lost 45s of these Billboard's Hot 100s. But some of the songs, big hits that you're familiar with, got Money Money by Tommy James at number 34, up from 49 previous week, and boy, a big jump that week. Mrs. Robinson by Simon and Garfunkel from 58 to 32. U.S. Mail by Elvis Presley with the Jordanaires, the song written by Jerry Reed at number 31. And we got Quinn the Eskimo, Mighty Quinn by the Manfred Man at number 29. Delilah by Tom Jones at number 27. But let's go all the way down. Another mainstream singer, kind of like Tom Jones, but been around for quite a while. Dean Martin, You Still Got a Place in My Heart. Number 60 on Billboard's Hot 100, May 4th, 1968. Got a pop flavor, got a country flavor in there, and a big hit on the adult charts. Went to number 7 on the adult charts. Didn't do quite as well on the Billboard's Hot 100 on the pop charts. Of course, it's kind of hard to fit in a song by Dean Martin besides a record like Summertime Blues by Blue Cheer, or even Lady Madonna by the Beatles. And but still, Dean Martin. This song's got some legs to it. This song's been covered by a lot of people. Originally done by Leon Payne back in 1950, and Dean Martin's version was from the album Happiness Is Dean Martin. Dean Martin riding high with this TV show too back in the 60s and early 70s. Song covered by Con Hunley in 1978, went to number 14 on country. George Jones took it to number 3, his version to number 3 in 1984, and his version was produced by the legendary Billy Sherrill. Billy Sherrill, who produced Stand By Your Man, the Tammy Wynette song, and produced he engineered Charlie Rich's comeback in the 70s, like producing The Most Beautiful Girl in the World, and Behind Closed Doors. Billy Sherrill, just a legendary country producer. Him and another producer, Owen Bradley, really popular behind the scenes back in the day. Glenn Campbell did a cover of this version too in the late 60s, as a matter of fact. I just found out. This record by Glenn Campbell's version of Glenn Campbell's version was the B-side to By the Time I Get to Phoenix. God, one of my favorite songs out of the 60s. The A-side, By the Time I Get to Phoenix, and the B-side, You Still Got a Place in My Heart, done by Dean Martin. Dean Martin's version of this song was produced by Jimmy Bowen. Jimmy Bowen didn't follow the rock and roll tide. He didn't glide across the rock and roll tide in the 60s. Frank Sinatra hired him as a producer for Reprise Records. Had a knack of producing hit records by Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr., and Frank Sinatra. Very much mainstream performers by the late 60s, a presence on the adult contemporary charts, although Jimmy Bowen produced Strangers in the Night. Huge hit for Frank Sinatra in 1966. And produced this record by Dean Martin. Let's go to the chart position on this record. Went to number 60. It peaked at number 60 on Billboard's Hot 100. But it was on Billboard's Hot 100 for 7 weeks. Still got a place in my heart. Dean Martin had such smooth vocals. Great vocals, Dean Martin. Number 60 on Billboard's Hot 100 of May the 4th, 1968.